Good day, everyone. I am Rota, and I am assigned to tackle about the love story of Pyramus and Thisbe by Ovid in Metamorphoses. In his Metamorphoses, Ovid tells us how Pyramus and Thisbe, the two young Babylonians, fell in love with each other but were forbidden to marry because their parents would not allow such a match. Because the two families were engaged in a bitter and long standing feud. So now let's go to the summary of the love story of Pyramus and Thisbe. Pyramus and Thisbe lived in a Babylonia, and from the time they were young, were neighbors. They played together daily as children and fell in love as they grew older. Although neighbors, their families were hostile to one another, so the love between Pyramus and Thisbe remained a secret. They had a special meeting place at a wall between their houses. This particular wall bore a scar, a large crack marred its smooth surface as a result of an earthquake long ago. Pyramus and Thisbe communicated through this crack when it was risky to see one another. One particularly magnificent day, they arrived at their usual meeting place. The beauty of the day made them lament their situation all the more. They cried as they watched two hummingbirds fly over the wall together. Suddenly, they came to the decision that they would not be stopped from being together any longer. They decided to meet that night outside the city gates under a mulberry tree filled with white fruits. This particular tree grew near a stream next to the local cemetery. Thisbe, hidden by a veil, arrived at the appointed spot first and waited patiently for Pyramus to come. All of a sudden, a lioness fresh from a kill, her jaws covered in blood, slunk out of the brush to satisfy her thirst at the stream. Thisbe, frightened by this disturbance, and that she ran out to the nearby cave. In her haste, she dropped her veil, and the lioness grabbed it and shredded it with her bloody jaws. Meanwhile, Pyramus had arrived at the meeting place. As he approached the tree, he could not help but notice the large paw prints of the lioness. His heart beat faster. As he approached the stream, his fears were confirmed upon seeing Thisbe's veil torn and blood-stained. Unable to find Thisbe and fearing that she was dead, Pyramus was unable to contain his sorrow. He drew his sword and plunged it deeply into his side. As he removed the sword from his side, blood sprayed the white fruit on the tree, turning it a dark purple color. Meanwhile, Thisbe recovered from her fright, came back to the meeting place by the stream. There she saw Pyramus' bodies laying in a crumpled heap on the ground. Racked with uncontrollable agony, she took his sword and threw her body onto it. With her dying breath, she pleaded with the gods that their bodies be buried in a single tomb and that the tree in a special meeting place would always bear fruit in the color of a dark and mournful color in memory of their unrequited love. To this day, the berries of the mulberry tree always turn dark purple in color when they are ripe. So, diba? It's very amazing story where we can really see you know, the true love, diba? The true love that really conquers everything. So in here, it was really kanang makuan jud ka ba, ma-amaze jud ka nga. Wala, there is person pa daing nga ana no nga if someone or if there's special someone kanang mawala, they also sacrifice their life kay for them they cannot live without that special person. So this love story is very amazing kay for in our generation today there is also mga ingani nga instances nga some some guys took their life because ilahang uyab kay nangitaglain or gibiyaan sila, di ba? They tend to commit suicide and all. And yeah, I will be sharing you a moral lesson with this love story. So I have here a quote. Love cannot be forbidden. The more that flame is covered up, the hotter it burns. Love can always find a way. By Pyramus and Thisbe. So the love story of these two lovebirds are very amazing. Like for example, when their parents did not want them to, you know, be in love with each other, they still talk, diba? They still talk to each other in the crack wall. And their love was worth risking getting in trouble from their parents. Like they really kuan good fight for their love sa ilahang na feel sa usag usa gina-fight jud nila ang ilahang love. So sana all na lang gyud no. So also when Peramos saw Tesby scarf that is full of kuan katong full of blood, 'di ba? He easily took his life knowing not knowing nga buhi pa ba si Tesby sa iharang agony ba nga basin patay na kay gikaon og lion or what, 'di ba? But if I were Peramos, the first thing that I will did good is to search for the body. Ako go i-search ang body ni Tesby if kana bang to prove ba nga buhi pa ba siya or wala. Yeah, if kanang if hopeless na jud ko nga ganahan jud ko nga makuan to among love mapadayon or what ina kuan in other way na pod, so maybe looking at the body of this BF unsa magani namatay man siya if ever, so that's the time nga I will took my life, not the way nga Pyramus did sa iyang kinabuhi nga seeing the scarf of this being nga nagka-blood, iya di ang agony kay gikaon og lion or what, 'di ba? Namatay na ba or what? So that's it. And then I have a last before I end this report, I will share with you a Bible verse which I get from the book of Ephesians 6:1 states that children obey your parents in the Lord for this is right. So 'di ba it was very um important nga mo-obey ta sa ato ang parents, especially they are the ones who kuan kanang ga padako nato, ga suporta nato in all ways and means nga ginabuhat nila. They sacrifices their lives, 'di ba? They did their best nga makakuan lang ta mabuhi, 'di ba? So dapat we should obey our parents kay obeying our parents is the way nga ato mapakita nga we respect them, 'di ba? We value them. And then also our parents knows better. So kay 'di ba ang ginaingon gani sa uban nga ang atong parents gapadulong na kita, I mean atong parents gapabalik na pero kita gapadulong pa. So they are the more knowledgeable others nga we can depend ba like kanang ganing kuan na sila kanana na sila yung mga informations kung unsay mga struggles, mga challenges nga atong ma-encounter if muna atong sundon o atong decision na atong sundon, 'di ba? So that's it nga very important jud nga mo obey ta sa ato ang parents kay it's not easy jud nga if time comes nga if you will become a parent soon, it's not very easy nga your child will disobey you. Dili ka sundon, magpabuyag. So, lesson learned jud ni ha nga we should obey our parents, especially nga we are the future educator. So, what if we will not obey our parents and then wala taga-obey sa atong parents and then later on when we are in the field of teaching, what if our students will not obey us pod? So, unsa may atong bation, di ba? So, muna siya. And that would be all my part of my report and thank you for listening.